Klein has lost his copyright lawsuit. It would seem, at least tentatively, it's not completely over, but the story is actually massive. This is one of the most important stories in social media. That's the latest most important story, I must stress. But this has to do with whether or not we can make money on our content, whether or not people are allowed to engage in public debate. And the results of this derivative from several years ago in Akilah Hughes v. Carl Benjamin, we are now looking at what may be a definitive nuclear strike in the social media space, which...
Nuclear strike. Brosie's an Arab person. This is a nuclear strike. They're saying Denims is going to have nukes any minute now. They're saying she will have nukes next week. She is on the verge of having nukes. I can tell. The fucking Arab... Bro's going to see this clip and be like, not everything is about your identity. It's like, sorry, I forgot. Women can't tell jokes. My bad. I apologize. I hereby apologize for making jokes. All right, continuing.
Is changing the game and eviscerating IP law protection. So before everybody jumps out and just cheers and celebrates.
This is my favorite part. I can't believe he said this, dude.
Ethan Klein filed the frivolous lawsuit, so he's losing. We got to talk about what the ramifications of this will be. Now, admittedly, I'm happy to see, and look, I know there's a lot of people who don't like Ethan Klein. I am not saying this to disparage or gloat over his defeat, but he's wrong in this one. And we can look back at the results from Akilah Hughes versus Carl Benjamin, for which is now being cited as precedent in this case, to see why he was wrong to file this lawsuit. But there is a major consideration as to what this means moving forward. And I warn you all of this. The ramifications will be pronounced as it pertains to
I'll fucking say it. I don't like Tim Pool. His camera is too small and it's bothering me. Let me widen the camera. You guys already have me on the screen. You don't need more me on the screen.
Content, taking away your right to own the work you produce. It is eroding and getting crazy. There's a great philosophical discussion here. But first, let's start with the story. For those that are not familiar with what's going on, Ethan Klein sued several ladies because they reacted to a
Ladies nuts on your chin. Dude, I think ladies is more of a slur than when people come in and they're like, listen, hon. Listen, sweetheart.
Documentary he made, I guess, attacking Hassan Piker, which, funny, I guess. Anyway, take a look at this.
Foggy, thank you for the 5 gift subs. What the heck? Thanks. Let me make this a little smaller.
We've got this from r/Hassan Piker. Based on a tentative ruling, Ethan Klein has lost his copyright lawsuit to Denims. This is big news, big news. And the gist of it is, you are allowed to react to content. It's fair use. In fact, it is the spirit of fair use, even if you explicitly state you are doing this to infringe his copyright.
I didn't say that. Like, it is truly incredible how words mean things when they say them. When, like, everyone on the opposition says words, the words mean special things. But when other people say things that other people you don't like say things, they could just mean whatever they want. There is a huge difference between saying I'm going to infringe your copyright and I cannot wait to steal all of your viewership and make sure you make no money. And also, the difference between that and, yeah, I'm going to be streaming. Well, if you enjoyed not watching that shitty video at the end of a stream, like literally like that, there's a massive difference between these two things. I don't understand.
Even if your audience explicitly states they intend to watch this instead of your content to infringe upon your market.
Which again, think about like the analogy. If you went to Wendy's and you told like the Wendy's, or you went to Burger King or you went to In-N-Out and you tell the In-N-Out cashier, by the way, I'm only here because I don't want to give money to McDonald's. And the CEO happens to be there. And he's doing a review and you tell the CEO, just so you know, I am only here so I don't give McDonald's money. because, girl, the boycott. That doesn't make In-N-Out liable for market harm to McDonald's. What customers choose to spend their money on is irrelevant to whether or not the product is different. What viewers want is irrelevant to whether or not I transformed the content. If I transformed it, it has been transformed. You can choose to support or not support anyone you don't want to support.
This is a nuclear bomb. And I'm going to tell you why, my friends, because on this channel, The Tim Pool Show, subscribe, please, if you have not already subscribed. I have been hit with copyright after copyright after copyright claim, and not on my other channels. So I've got what we got Timcast IRL with like 2.7 million or something. I got Timcast News at 2 million, and I got Timcast at like 1.
Dude, what happened to this poor chatter? They've like lost their mind. They type mostly pretty normally, and today they've just like lost their mind. Are you on drugs or are you not on enough drugs? You seem to be pretty your stolen views that were promised to him 3,000 years ago. What is wrong with you, brother? Are you good? I disagree with your worldview. Okay, then eat shit. I don't know what to tell you. Then suck my dick, man. Okay, well, what do you want me to do with that? Me when I show up at Starbucks. I fucking hate your coffee, by the way. Bro, I just work here. Like, what do you want? I don't like your coffee. I don't like it. It's too bitter and it bothers me. Okay, man, then go somewhere else. Then go. I loathe liars like you, but you simp for Ethan Klein, dipshit. Be honest, you were hating. You know that that's legal, right? You're simping for more Pegasus. What do you think more Pegasus does other than hate on Hassan all day, all night? Being a hater is completely legitimate if you didn't know that. If you didn't know that. He's better than Hassan. He's better. Is this more Pegasus's alt? Hassan does nothing for the people he grifts off of. And what does more Pegasus do? Get Mpreg? How does that help you? What the fuck has he done for you? I don't understand. I don't understand what he could possibly be doing for you, man. What the fuck is he doing for anyone? He's just making himself richer. Grow up. I don't care about Hassan, dude. Like, I don't understand why these people are so obsessed with Hassan. It's like sad. It's like pathetic. You know, there are people who watch my stream that don't like Hassan, right? And they don't make it my problem and everybody else's problem. You're just the only obsessed freak in here that won't stop talking about him. Hassan has never been on a... I don't... Okay, send one more comment about Hassan and you're getting banned for being gay during Pride Month. Okay? I understand you want to suck other men off and you want to hate fuck other men, but there's a limit. Okay? There's a limit. There's a limit to gay guys. All right? I'm sorry. There's an acceptable amount of homosexuality. Lesbians, we love them, folks. Women, I love them, folks. Gay men, no, that's it. That's it. We're putting a full stop on gay men until we figure out what the hell is going on with this chatter. Hassan, all right. These people are like obsessed. They're straight up obsessed with Hassan. It's like, it's sad. It's so pathetic. It's like, it's so cringy. The only limit for gay men is Hassan deserved. That's what I'm saying. Austin show? Go ahead. Go ahead. Fair game. Totally valid. Totally legitimate. Stab Cedar? Go ahead. Kyle Klinsky? Go ahead. Hassan? Come on, dude. The LGBT foe, that guy? You're still talking about that creep?
Socialist.
Sir Arabia Law, thank you for the 10 gift subs. All right, continuing.
0.5. With all of these millions of
Scrum Dog, thank you for the 5 gift
subscribers,
thank you.
Never have my fair use videos been copyright claimed. But on this channel, which is newer and smaller, and more just about kind of the whatever I feel like talking about, less important, more drama, more fun, whatever. copyright claims every single day, despite the fact I am legally allowed and protected. This is why this story is so massive. But you got to understand, some of you are probably on Ethan Klein's side. Many of you probably do not like what he is doing. Let's talk about the future of content and what this means for all of you producing content on TikTok, on Instagram, or otherwise. This is going to have, this is a massive nuclear bomb. You got to understand. This means, right? So right now, I got a video on this channel where I included
thanks, small tanks.
like a 1-minute clip in a 30-minute podcast of Star Trek The Next Generation. And they said, I'm not allowed to comment on a work of art this way. Now we've got more precedent saying, absolutely you can, even if it's the entirety of the work. This means, my friend.
I mean, I was not the precedent-setting case on that. The precedent-setting case on that is the one that we cite, which is Sebens v. Alphabet. Like, I don't, like, I have this effect, I think, on the internet and maybe on people where, like, I end up taking credit for things that I didn't start. Which, like, I guess I'm fine with it. Like, I feel like the people who actually started it should get, you know, the credit for it, but whatever, all right. The same thing happened with, like, Emeru, where everyone was like, Denims is the only person that is starting this hate campaign against Emeru. It's like, I'm going to be honest, I don't think I personally got 150,000 people to tweet about Emeru and ICE. In fact, that tweet had tens of thousands of likes before I even got to it, and I saw multiple people talking about it with tens of thousands of likes before I even said anything. And now it's like, she is literally setting the precedent that you can watch an entire Disney movie as long as you're a hater. It's like, okay, I'm not the one who set the precedent. That's the Stebbins case that set that precedent. Like, what? I didn't even. All right.
Understand. I know we got to read I got to give you the context here, but for everybody who's already been tracking this stuff, this means the door is now open for you to literally watch an entire movie production from Hollywood, commenting on it, pausing it, and whatever your commentary may be, so long as it falls into fair use, you can explicitly state, I'm watching the Avengers so that nobody gives Disney money. Now, of course, some people might say, whoa, hold on. No. You got to understand. This is where the door has opened. And this is, I have to imagine the big studios, they're going to be playing dirty games with this one. So let's start here. We've got this from legal filings, copyrightlately.com. Hate watch this space. Catching up.
This is not from the most recent filing. This is May 17th, 2026. So we're clear. This is from, I'm pretty sure, like the segment from Sally, from the Judge Kim's ruling. And she mentions hate watching in that ruling. Okay.
With Ethan Klein's reaction video lawsuit. So here's the gist. Let's zoom in so you can read a little bit better. 1 minute after YouTuber Ethan Klein dropped content nuke Hassan Piker.
Yo, Denims, you're a cool person. Thanks. Thanks.
His 102-minute tragicomic documentary accusing the Twitch streamer of radicalizing his audience into anti-Semitism. Alexandra Saber, who streams his Denims, hit go live. Over nearly 4 hours.
It's not my name. My name is Jeannie.
She watched content nuke front to back, paused it 211 times, dismissed Klein's production as giving middle school project vibes. You mean? Pulled up AP article.
Oh, he's so old. He's so washed. Giving middle school. Don't you mean vibe? No, it's giving middle school project. You don't need to say the vibes part, you boomer ass.
To dispute his sourcing and signed off with, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime. Guess what? Fair use. She was calling him out. That was allowed. That stream is now Exhibit K in TED Entertainment Inc. v. Saber, the most consequential of the 3 reaction video copyright suits that Klein and his wife Hila, through their production company TED Entertainment, filed last June against Twitch streamers over their live streamed reactions to content nuke. When I first wrote about these cases last summer, all 3 streamers, Denims, Casey Tron, and Frogan, were just lawyering up. A year later, only Denims is still in active combat, and the motion she just filed tests the limits of
Arabian named Genie. Did J.K. Rowling write this stuff? Shut
the very precedent Klein helped create, because those cases never had to deal with hate watchers. Understand this, my friends. This means with this precedent, should it be hammered in, because I got let me pull up the tweet for you guys. This is I got the Carl Benjamin one. This is where things get crazy. This means you can watch.
I've never listened to Timble try and explain case law before, and I never want to hear it again. Jesus Christ. Side note, goated last name. Thanks, guys.
A full episode of the Joe Rogan podcast. Pause periodically to criticize Joe or his guest. Completely replace the market for the Joe Rogan podcast, and he can't do anything about it. This is where we were always headed. Now take
the argument that's being made is that it's a completely different market. If someone makes if Candace Owens makes videos and she reacts to your content and she makes fun of you and says that you're a fucking loser that's still wearing the same beanie after a decade and you lose viewers because of that, that's still fair use. If people don't want to watch you anymore because you have no motion and no swag, and Candace Owens has all the motion and the swag now among the rightoids, then that's still valid. Like she is not obligated to ensure that you maintain your market. That would be fucking insane. That would be an insane precedent. Like, oh, well, your work might have caused people to stop liking this person and therefore it's not okay. That would be insane. Great. So then we shouldn't criticize anyone anymore ever in case it hurts that market. That would be an insane precedent.
Look at where this begins. And I'm telling you, I know a lot of people are going to be mad about this, whatever, but listen. The end result of this, I believe, it's a double-edged sword. I do reaction content too. I read news articles as sources and citation. This is fair use. That's how I've done it for a decade. More than a decade. Wow. A long time. It's fair use. People take my videos out of context and then lie about me. It's fair use. I'm having a conversation with some liberal guy, and this is what always happens on like Tim Castile. Some liberal will be like, well, you're a pro-life atheist. It's like the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing. Conservatives call me an atheist. I'm not. And liberals call me pro-life. I'm not. But it's because they base their perception off of fake videos.
Oh, he's talking about Sam Cedar. He's talking about the debate that he had with Sam Cedar, where Sam Cedar was like, so would you be okay with abortion in the case of blah, blah? And he's like, well, I just think abortion tests should be done. Or sorry, not abortion tests. I think we just need rape kit tests. And he's like, so then you're okay with all of the women who have been raped but aren't getting rape kits to forcibly give birth then? And it was like this whole debate, and he got fucking owned. And Sam Cedar basically accused him of being pro-life because that's what his position was. Let me see if I can find it. Sam Cedar. It might be this one, maybe.
Well, I mean,
Sam is both
a really good example of what you get when you watch someone like Sam Cedar.
Hey, listen, we've had a lot of people on. Hey, that's a really good example. There's other greater, even better examples I could be giving you right now. The one that I like couldn't finish that I started with, and this one that I'm gonna say is good, even though it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, right, right.
why are you bringing it up? Well, because the people who you would create restrictions are going to. There is a story in ProPublica. A third woman died under Texas's abortion ban. Doctors are avoiding the DNC procedure, which is a dilation and curettage, apparently a common procedure for first trimester miscarriages and abortion. But they are avoiding this and using other riskier techniques because they don't want to be charged with aborting a child in contravention to a Texas on abortions. And I mean, this is indicative, and I imagine there's much more than three women.
Because the reality is like, okay, so if a policy causes more good than harm, and it's overwhelmingly the case, we should continue having that policy. So let's talk about, like, for example, food stamps, right? food stamp fraud is so small. The studies that we've done in different states, it's like sub fraud and like waste and abuse, the entire category of money that went where it shouldn't have. It's like most states that we've run the numbers on, it's 1% to 2%, if even. And a lot of that is actually missed payments by the state accidentally giving more than they were supposed to, or less than they were supposed to, and then trying to make up for it, and then giving more than they were supposed to by accident. It's not actually a bunch of people all committing welfare fraud. And it's a very small amount. And in exchange for like 1% of this revenue maybe going to the wrong place, less than 1% even, all of these families and all of these people and children get to eat food and not go hungry at night. And that's a pretty good trade-off, I think. Some people who didn't need the food stamps or the extra money that month, yeah, they got it. But also, all these other people who absolutely needed it also got it. The harm is so small, right? It's so small. Let's get an expert on fraud. Rick Scott, come on into the chat and explain how to commit $1.7 billion of fraud, since you're the goat at it. Don't, but actually. There was something else that I was going to say as well on that topic. Oh, abortion is, I think, very similar on that front. That, sure, you want to say that third trimester abortions are immoral, and the only cases that third trimester abortions should occur is when the pregnancy is not viable, or it would be at serious risk to the mother and or the child. In which case, I would say, I'm sorry, not to be too woke, but if a pregnancy isn't viable, I think that the person carrying that fetus should be able to make that decision, because it's not an easy decision for someone to make. I don't imagine, and personally, I've met a lot of women, I don't imagine there are a lot of women, and the studies show this, that are just, doing 6 months of pregnancy for fun. Just, like, I don't know, I thought this would be kind of entertaining to do, I thought maybe I would do this for a little bit and then just test drive it. I would say most people getting to 6 months of pregnancy, 7 months of pregnancy, are probably pretty committed to that pregnancy. And I think the number is like, I want to say it's like 98 or 99% of abortions in the third trimester are because of health complications. And the vast majority of personal choice abortions occur well within the first trimester. Because if you know you don't want to be pregnant and you know you don't want children for whatever particular reason, you're going to make that decision before you get 6 months or 7 months pregnant. And again, it's like 99% or more of the abortions in the third trimester are explicitly for health purposes. Like, which, you can have your own fucking personal, like, you should never do abortions, even if the doctor says that the pregnancy is not viable and that the child will die immediately after birth and will only have a few hours of life. Hey man, I don't know. I think if you're carrying, you shouldn't be forced to have a stillbirth. I think that that's a pretty cruel punishment to put on a human being. Because you don't even get to start the healing process from that. You're like delaying the process of healing, like emotionally, from that. Because it just happened. And that's not even talking about instances where, the person giving birth might have health complications. And again, also, I think if you're the person carrying the fetus and you might die if you give birth, I think you should be allowed to terminate the pregnancy. If it's too risky, you should be able to decide whether or not you get to live or die. Seems kind of important, I think. Seems kind of important. Also, I don't know. I feel like that's not something you should force other people to do. Not to be too woke. Not to be too woke. But yeah. Denims, did you consider that it makes some people that have no connection to the pregnancy upset? That's so true. That's so true. I'm so sorry. You're so right. Yeah. So true. Anyways, why was I saying that? All that? Yeah, right. So this, like, there's this made up narrative, I think, among right wingers and conservatives that, like, well, we need to make sure that the protections for fetuses is stronger because women are just getting abortions for everything and anything all the time. And that's messed up. And it's like, no. The vast majority of abortions occur in the first trimester. And overwhelmingly, the abortions in the third trimester are for the health of the mother or the potential child. So this is a non-issue. Like, we already have a system that works because people don't just get pregnant for fun. Like, they don't get pregnant for like 7 months and they're like, oh, I think I'm done. Yeah, I don't think I want it anymore. That was a fun 7 months of like having morning sickness and feeling uncomfortable and having back pain and having weird food cravings and not being able to eat anything or drink or smoke. But I just think I'm done. I'm done with it. Like, I love fun abortions, true. So putting more criteria on abortions and making it more and more and more difficult for women to get abortions is so fucking insane because this is just not a problem. This is just not a problem.
And who have been died even in Texas. There's also now reports coming out of Texas. This is according to a new poll. 21% of OBGYNs in Texas are said they are either considering leaving the state or already planning to do so. 13% had decided to retire early. These are OBGYNs. These are the implications of your bans with so-called exceptions. The exceptions never work. And
do you support putting restrictions on M-pregacies? Banning boy abortions, perhaps? Now that I'm on board with.
That's just a horrible development because there's already hospital and doctor deserts in the reddest parts of our country, the most rural areas of our country. And this is just going to exacerbate that problem for all other care. Specifically women's care, right? Because OBGYNs, just got to tell you, for all the freaks out there, they don't just, execute babies after they come out of the womb. They also provide a bunch of different kinds of health care for women like myself and for people who can get pregnant.
And I should also say it's curettage. Thank you, Jay Tingle, not Cutter Ridge. And I imagine this dynamic that's happening in Texas with OBGYNs is happening around the country. So I tried to explain this to Tim Pool when I was in his facility. I guess it was a couple of weeks ago now. And here is me walking through this with him. Because we know that, there's always a danger of a woman dying in childbirth. And it's above zero. So Oh,
come on.
No.
We're trying to be reasonable, right? We want to solve the problem. We don't want to just say,
what's the problem?
There are conservatives who believe that if the baby is, well, for many, I don't even believe in IVF because even a fertilized,
Let me also just be clear here, too. Tim Pool's whole game, at least up until this interview, and it became problematic for him because he realized, oh, wait, my whole audience is conservative. I've mentioned this before, but before I was even out of the seat and about to leave, he looked at me and goes, they're mad at me. And I didn't want to stick around for sush or poker. I actually had to get home because my mother was at that time passing away.
A lot of it comes down to the fact that there's just no empathy for a woman's pain. Well, I think okay. not to be too woke. I do think misogyny is like one of the oldest and most accepted forms of bigotry. And it's like gotta be like top 3 up there. That with like colorism. And I have to say, I think a lot of people mentally, not you guys are woke. But I do think a lot of people mentally, even people who are like on the left, they like to ignore it. It's one of the oldest class division exploitation way before capitalism. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't mean to be too woke here. It's just not something that people like to think about or consider. And I have noticed that even leftists, now this is a big general brush, but usually if you've never experienced any form of bigotry, so if you are not of any minority status and have not experienced that, you're probably the most susceptible or the most likely to just ignore misogyny and be like, it's not even that big of an issue. It's really not a big issue. And it's like, I'm so fucking scared. Dude, there are so many instances where, man, you'll be talking to someone and you'll be like, yeah, but it's, it's unfair that like, women have to, carry on all of these burdens in society and it's just expected to be, free labor. And sometimes you're talking to someone and then they show their power level and they're like, well, they should do that. They're good at it. It's like, what? Biologically, they're programmed to, wait, well, you said you're on the left. What? What did you say about that? What else? But you're supposed to be leftist. What? Huh? Oh, okay. Black chatter here, somehow always impressive when non-black content creators even know about colorism. Good on you. Well, I think it helps that like I'm not white. So I have seen colorism personally. Like, I would say take everything from like North Africa to the Middle East to South Asia. So in a lot of countries that have Muslim populations, people that I've grown up with and family and everything. And the number of times you've heard, if you have ever had a friend who is MENA, Middle Eastern, North African, or South Asian, or if you grew up in that household, you know how crazy colorism is. The colorism is insane. It's like, wow, you're so pale. It's like, huh? You are not white? Question mark. No. No. I don't think so. Both my parents are Arab, so last time I checked, I'm not white. Last time I checked. I'm pants. South Asian chatter here. Colorism is so in fashion over there. Fair and Lovely is a thing that exists. Dude, the whitening cream stuff is crazy. If you want an idea of colorism, guys, there's this horrible show on Netflix where I was like, I couldn't resist. This was years ago. I watched it. It was like a show about like an Indian matchmaker. And the number of times it'll be like, okay, I found you a lovely girl. Most importantly, she's nice and fair skinned. It's like, huh? Huh? What? So even within cultures, you'll see, even if there aren't like racial divides in cultures, you'll still see the animus and like the idealism of being paler. Japanese hair colorism is a major issue in East Asia too. Oh, to be clear, yeah, it's also an issue in honestly the entire Asian continent, the entire continent of Asia. But I'm talking about my personal experiences, and I haven't had a lot of personal experiences with Asia or Asian people about colorism. But I do know that it exists. Well, that's not true. I know I've had a lot of Filipino friends that have talked about this where I want to make sure I speak about this correctly, but that Filipinos get a lot of like, oh, but you're not really Asian. And it's like, then what the fuck am I if I'm not what the fuck? Huh? Well, yeah, but you don't like look, you know. And that's colorism. That's colorism. That's literally, what else is that if not colorism? Yeah, it's just like a big sign of being poor and that you work like labor. Yup, as a Filipino. I hope I talked about that in a way that was not offensive. I tried to explain it. You're Latina stuff. Yeah, colorism is, I would say, also one of the oldest form of bigotry. And I don't want to say like racism, because it's not even, I would say like racism has also always been around, but colorism is like, has been around for, it feels like at least the past 1,000 years for a lot of countries. Can we watch a Fair and Lovely ad? Is this the one with the washing machine, dude? I'm scared. Don't tell me this is the one. Okay, I don't think so. Thank God, thank God, thank God. The washing machine one scares the shit out. No, that one was not for Fair and Lovely. That was that really racist Japanese ad.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Ah.
What did you like?
Dude, why was she screaming at me? No, the Fair and Lovely ads are crazy, guys. The Fair and Lovely ads are crazy. I don't know why that one was so deep fried. Doesn't this count as racism? Well, no, because these people are all of the same racial group. Race is just a fake made up category that we created. It's colorism because it's about the color of their skin tone and nothing else. Colorism will happen within a racial group. Yeah, no, Fair and Lovely ads are scary. Let me see if I can find it. There was one that I saw that was like awful. That was really quite awful. Anyways, that doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Back to what we were talking about. 30 tangents after 30 tangents. Let's get back to this. Let me just show you guys the part where Tim Pool says what he said.
But he looked at me and goes, they're mad at me. And I'm like, who's mad at you? I thought he was talking about his producers because we went so long. And he goes, my audience. They felt I agreed with you too much. And this is the way that.
Also pretty important to note that the skin whitening products are usually just mercury that gets absorbed into the skin to destroy your ability to get pigmentation. Wait, are you serious? I've never looked into them because I think that that's fucking insane. I will say, I deal with hyperpigmentation, which is really fucking annoying. And for anyone who doesn't know, it's just like, it basically means that when you get like a little scar, it gets really dark. It doesn't help that I have OCD and I like to pick, which is not a good combination. Let me see if I can find like a good picture. None of these pictures are really that good. Most of these are showing like, yeah, I think this looks like a good photo of hyperpigmentation. Most notable with like acne, where like when you have an acne scar, what remains will be like a dark spot. And I get this, and it's so irritating. So like, it's starting to really piss me off. Because sometimes I will get like the rare, and I try really hard to keep it under control, but like I'll get the rare like back knee, and it takes. First of all, it doesn't even matter if I pick at it, if I don't pick at it. It doesn't matter what I do; it'll leave a scar. And then, if I do nothing, it'll stay there for years. First of all, but second, when you do try and get rid of it, it takes forever to get rid of. And I have heard, but I haven't done any research about it, but like that there is like scar fading or hyperpigmentation medication, but it basically just effectively reduces your melanin. And I'm like terrified to look into that. So I was kind of thinking about asking people if anyone here has tried it and if anyone here has liked it. Because I was like, maybe people in here have seen it or have used it. Has anyone tried it? Like the pills. I'm on it. Do you like it? Sorry, sometimes I use chat as a way to like poll. Because I figure there's so many people. Some of you guys must have had experiences. Hydroquinone? I've never tried it. I've never tried any of these things. I'm just getting really sick of it, dude. I'm just getting really tired of it. Wait, this is not a pill. This one is, maybe it's got like an oral? No, I have a cream that I use that works pretty well. It just takes forever to use and it takes forever to work. I use scar tape and it works over time. Yeah, the bigger problem is like, I could show you guys. I can show chat. So like I'll get like random little like, recently the thing that's been pissing me the fuck off is that I will get like a random little like bump. And it's just like, I think it's just like sebum or something. I don't know what the fuck is happening. And then it'll leave like a little scar. And I'm like, ugh. And then I like treat it with cream. And then it lightens. But by the time that one's lightened, I've gotten another like 17. And I'm just starting to like, I'm starting to get really pissed off about this. I'm starting to really lose my marbles about it. And I'm curious if anyone has anything, if anyone's ever tried the oral products. Don't mess with them. Do you understand that even if I do nothing, I still have a giant scar? Is it your soap, maybe? No, it's not. I've tried so much. Okay, I guess no one's ever tried the pills before. I was just curious if anyone has had an experience taking the oral drug and if anyone here has ever tried it and liked it. I have. Did you like it? We're all, yeah, that's like, I think everybody is also just scared because it's like, yes, but it can cause clotting. You wear gloves when going after blemishes? I mean, I'm not even touching the blemishes. Let me see if I can show you guys what I mean. Hold up. Wait 1 second. All right. This is a good example of what I mean. This is a good example of what I mean. I don't need any help with creams. I have a cream that works. It's just by the time that cream fixes the problem, I have 14 new problems. So I don't need cream recommendations. I appreciate all the cream recommendations. I don't need any cream recommendations. So like this is a good example where like, get a little closer. Here we go. Where like, I'll get like one random ass, like maybe an ingrown or something or like a scar. And then I fucking clean. I will use this topical Tazarotene or something. It's a retinoid. And then I use it. And by the time this has faded, I get like 4 more. And I'm like just tired of it. I'm just tired of like constantly having to take care of it all of the time. You know what I mean? Do you shave it? It's not a shaving problem because I get it on my back. I get it where I don't shave. And I also don't shave. So it just happens. So I'm not interested in any topical treatments. I have topical treatments that work. Yes, I will go to the dermatologist, obviously. You could just not obsess over it, but I'm a min-maxer and I want everything to be exactly the way I want it. It's an acid, it takes a few weeks, but you can't use it long term. Damn. That sucks. Maybe use a mini Band-Aid. Band-Aids are bad because you're irritating the skin every time you take them off and put them back on. That's what my dermatologist told me. So you can't do that. So annoying. Yeah, so. What about the skincare video? I've had an entire lawsuit era to deal with. I'm working on it. I'm sorry. Don't pick at it. Do you understand? This happened with no picking. That was no picking. When I pick at it, it's much worse. But have you considered covering your skin with regenerative nanobots? Oh. Oh, I get it. See in your legs, you don't have hair on them? How? The magic of laser hair removal. All right. Have you considered just simply tanking it? That's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing. But yeah. Sucks that it has so many negative side effects. Ugh. Well, anyways. Because there's a bunch of stuff that helps. I'm just like wondering if there's anything that will just stop it. You know what I mean? Because something that would stop it would just be dope. Ugh. Anyways. Sorry to go on that tangent. I was really curious. Wait, how do we get here? Sorry. I just wanted to... Well, we were talking about... It's not important. It's not important. It's not important. How does lasering compare to waxing? Well, it makes the hair stop growing, so I like it. I like laser. I like lasering. Okay. Get your whole leg tatted with dots. Dude, stop. All right. Close, 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 close. Have I tried getting an Etsy spell? Oh. Oh. I didn't think about it. It stops growing? Yeah. That's the point of lasering. The point of laser hair removal is that the hair stops growing. You like burn the follicle off and then it stops growing. It's fucking dope. Clearly the only answer is amputation. Okay. Am I supposed to amputate my back, bro? Am I supposed to do that? Let me just amputate my whole back, man. All right, moving on. Enough of this. Not only electrolysis work, no, laser hair removal also works. Anyways, can we get back to the video before we run out of stream time?
Made by other people, and I can't do anything about it because that was always allowed. Not that I'm saying anyone should do anything about it. Guys, you want to insult me and make fun of me, you're allowed to do it. Check this out. This is massive. So we got this. Hasanabi Productions meme account says, based on a tentative ruling, Ethan Klein has lost his copyright lawsuit to Denims. The judge determined that Denims' reaction to the content nuke constituted fair use. This is devastating to Ethan Klein. You guys don't understand just how devastating this actually is. Again, watching the full feature-length production. It's an hour and was it like an hour 40 or something? No, yeah, was it? Yeah, hour 40. Reacting to it over 4 hours. This is where the line begins to erode, because what is the argument for fair use in this context that would be any different from me watching The Avengers, pausing it periodically to comment on the production quality, continuity errors? Check this out from the court filing. They citing Hughes v. Benjamin. Here, there is no danger that SJW levels of awareness will usurp the market of progressive commentaries, such as "we thought she would win." Benjamin's target audience, generally political conservatives and libertarians, is obviously not the same as Hughes's target audience, generally political liberals. Moreover, although SJW levels of awareness is comprised entirely of portions of "we thought she would win," there is no reason to think that Hughes's audience will abandon her progressive YouTube channel to watch the derisively titled SJW levels of awareness on a conservative YouTube channel simply because it contains parts of her work. Hughes, 437F sup at 394. Accordingly, the court finds that defendant's live stream is not a market substitute for the nuke. Because 3 of the 4 fair use factors strongly favor defendant, including the most important factor, purpose and character of use, the court concludes that the fair use defense applies as a matter of law. Thus, defendant's motion for judgment on the pleadings is granted. For the foregoing reasons, the court grants defendant's motion for judgment on the pleadings. The court orders defendant to prepare and submit a proposed judgment in this matter within 7 days of this order. It is so ordered. A massive bomb. The judge used Ethan's own precedent to make the ruling. Check this out. The undisputed purpose of defendant's live stream is to contest, criticize, and mock plaintiff's message, which the courts have found weighs in favor of fair use due to its transformative nature. See, Hosin Sadeh v. Klein, finding that the first factor weighed in defendant's favor, as the defendant's reaction video was quintessential criticism and comment.
Dark Street Lady, thank you so much. Took me a while to log in my system as physician. She recommends Pico laser for dark spots, such as what you're discussing. Thank you. I've never heard of this. I actually really appreciate this. What the heck? Thanks. All right. Sorry to get distracted by that. Yeah. Fucking Tim Pool, dude. Sorry. Dude, listening to him talk sometimes is so unfucking bearable, but I'm just going to let him make his full point and then we can talk about it.
Equals 3 LLC versus Jukin Media. Finding transformative use, where the host reacted to and commented on original videos. So let's talk about what this means in terms of this nuclear bomb for full content.
Why does he keep calling it a nuke and a nuclear bomb? And he's not calling the content nuke that. He's saying the lawsuit, the way that the lawsuit is resolving is a nuke and like a nuclear bomb. It does feel mildly racially charged.
In the immediate, okay, actually, the results, I do want to mention one thing. They're going to mention an update on others. Casey Tron settled her case in December. The apology video she released as part of the deal had all the warmth and spontaneity of a hostage tape, admitting infringement, conceding the Klein's lawsuit was not frivolous, and confessing she previously called it based on misogyny, only to garner sympathy to retaliate against the Klein's. She also agreed to transfer her remaining GoFundMe proceeds to
Okay, can I ask a quick question? How is it that so many people are so stupid that they think that the statement that you make from a settlement, one is in any way like, I don't want to say legally binding because that's not accurate, but factually correct. That the statements you're making are factually correct. And that's how you actually feel. And 2, that they are the end all be all. Like the fact that she said, yep, it's so true. It was all baseless. And just so you know, everybody, I stole it. I, Casey Tron, personally, like that doesn't mean that that's what a court would find. That literally doesn't, that just means that that's what she agreed to say for the settlement. That's it. And there were a bunch of people being like, she's going to totally fight against Denims. It's like, no, what could she even say to impact my ruling? There's nothing. It's not an admission of any type of guilt. It's just, we agree that you're going to go on and say this. She could go on and say, I hate gay people. that obviously doesn't make it magically true. It's just what the settlement terms were. Like that, do you understand? Like if part of her settlement agreement was for her to say she actually secretly has always hated Lady Gaga, real Casey fans would know that that was bullshit, right? Real Casey fans would be like, okay, well, I know that's not, I know that that's not true. That's not possible. But that doesn't mean that she wouldn't be required to say it in the settlement. It doesn't mean that it's actually correct. Like, I just don't understand. They confuse the idea of someone saying something as in a deposition versus a statement.
And testify against H3 Snark Reddit moderators, and closed by wishing Klein success in enforcing TED Entertainment's copyright. If you're wondering what a settlement apology drafted by opposing counsel looks like, it's pretty much that. Let's talk about the nuclear bomb. First, this precedent being set right now is hammering in what all lawyers will cite now moving forward. They're going to say this precedent will matter. The courts have decided. Theoretically, you could appeal to a higher court. I don't know that higher courts are going to care to take up a case like this. Right now, where are we at? First, one of the biggest problems in social media is that I produce content for you.
And yeah, let me just say, there really isn't a new precedent being set here because the precedent was already set in Stebbins. It's already been set by Ethan himself, and it was already set by Stebbins in the most recent case with that Fallout video.
I work every day, 16 hours. And I'm going to tell you this.
Job Omegalol.
Guys, it is emotionally taxing and draining. It absolutely.
Oh God, I don't even know if I should go down this line of this. Okay, can I say something? I'm so fucking scared. There is an aspect of content that's draining, which is just like, if you can't tank it, it's going to be like the worst job of your life. In the way that like certain people don't want to sit in front of a desk. In the way that certain people don't want to sit or stand in a factory. That like there are certain types of labor that are required for every job. And I've met people that are like, I would rather work as like a secretary for a terrible boss for the rest of my life than ever have to serve another customer in a restaurant again. Dude, talk to chef. Anyone who's worked as a line cook, they will tell you they will work any other fucking job. They will tell you that they will work literally any other job. All right. But also at a more personal level, I've met people that said doing office work drove them crazy. And they never ever want to work in an office again. That they would rather do anything else. I've known people who are like electricians that have said they worked in an office and they wanted to fucking jump off of a roof into a ball pit that was safe and would keep them fine. Because they just don't want to sit there fucking typing. They would rather feel like they were working with their hands and actually doing something and getting paid well, as they should be. Line cook for a decade. I'm a mechanic now. It's heaven. I know for a fact I would hate to work on cars, I actually loved office work. I love menial labor that is totally nonsense, that serves no purpose. But I love computers and I love my keyboard and I love organizing things. So all of those things make me really happy. It drove me crazy. I work for the parks department now. I get paid half as much, but I'm so much happier. Well, yeah, again, like, this is another good example. I currently work in an office in finance where I have an art degree. Literally, I'm filled with anxiety and depressed. I don't want to ever look at Excel again. Or it's like, meanwhile, my ass opens Excel for fun. So, like, there is some personal experience. And I will tell you, I have met content creators that, like, they've gotten a little bit of pushback and they're like, they did not take it well. You really have to be able to just tank it and not give a fuck that people hate you for any reason. Like, there are some people, if you make content on the internet, that are just gonna fucking despise you no matter what you do. Sometimes it's for stuff that you actually did, but sometimes it's for stuff you didn't fucking do. Sometimes it's for just, think about how many people you've seen on the internet getting berated that absolutely did not deserve it. Like the people who hate like BB No Money, it's like, and they're like, he's such a performative piece of shit. God, I hate him. He's so annoying. It's like, damn, he didn't even do anything. What the hell? He didn't even do anything. What, his camera was too big? Bro, what the heck? He's a performer. He's performing. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And it's not that people hate him. No, people hate him. They think that like he's fake woke performative. And he went on this whole like thing on like about when AI was starting to really pop off. He was like, fuck AI art, put real artists. I'm commissioning real artists. I love real artists. I love real art. I will always be for real art made by real people. Fuck AI art. And that made a lot of anti-woke people be like, BB No Money, you're a fucking hack. And you're just appealing to wokies because you suck. Or, oh my God, Miss Rachel. People hate Miss Rachel. Can you imagine watching Miss Rachel and she's like, yay. And this is Samira. Samira, what do you want to tell us? Oh, I'm so happy for you, Samira. And there are people that are like, Miss Rachel is an anti-Semite who hates Jewish people and thinks the Holocaust was good and thinks that Hitler... And it's like, huh? Miss Rachel, the woman that makes videos trying to help children? What the hell are you talking about, man? What the fuck are you talking about, man? Huh? She hates Israel. She's not covering all of the children in Israel who are suffering. She's not covering it. It's like, oh, I don't know, man. I would say maybe the kids in Gaza are suffering at a greater degree in larger numbers. Perhaps there are just less stories of children suffering in Israel, and that's why she doesn't cover it. Perhaps, perchance. Yeah, well, you know, an Israeli kid stepped on a Lego, and she didn't even make a single video on it, and it was pretty antiseptic to me, if you ask me. It's like, oh my God, like, I have no words. That's incredible. That's amazing. So I do think being on the internet, the one thing that you have to be able to do is just like, you just have to tank the hate, and you just can't let it bother you. Like, you just can't care. Whether you're buffed from getting girl bullied or you play video games online so it can't impact you or whatever helps you stay sane, it just can't impact you. It just can't. Personally, the number one effective strategy for me, I love to go on Twitter and see the hate comments because it's fun. Because I'm brain rotted. But I love to click on the profile picture or like click on the profile, not the picture, and look through like the fucking schizo posting. Because it's always a crazy person. It's like, wow, what a rare specimen you are. Friendless, you say. Okay, that's not so bad. A lot of people are friendless. Bitchless, you say. Okay. All of your family hates you. Okay. Ah, I see. Nothing going for you in any way, shape, or form, and you've never made a single friend. Shocking. Shocking, actually. And you have no positive relationship with anyone in your family, and nothing brings you joy. You're living in a hell of your own making, buddy. Please, if this is the one outlet you have, by all means, buddy, by all means, keep it up. You got it. You got it, bro. What was I trying to say? Denims is really punching low. Not that any of the very specific things she just listed completely apply to me. Well, but you have things that bring you joy. These people don't have things that bring them joy. Like, literally, they have nothing that brings them joy. Their life is just suffering and trying to instill suffering in everyone else to make them feel better because misery loves company. They're never trying to make anyone else have fun because they figure, well, it's never going to work. No one's ever going to make me happy. So I have to drag everyone down to my level, right? Like they see a beautiful woman and they don't experience joy seeing a beautiful woman. They experience like hatred and vitriol. And it's like, what the fuck? Like that's insane. That's an insane reaction to have. Like you are not well adjusted to feel that way. I see a beautiful woman and I'm like, like, what was I trying to say? We should start a company, Make Misery, Frustrated Incorporated. Yeah. I'm sorry, you're so right, Criminal Pink. It's like the meme of the guy whistling and the other guy's like, I fucking hate that guy. Exactly. Why was I bringing that up? I brought that up for a reason. Fuckers. Oh, yeah. The one thing about the internet is if you can't tank the hate, it'll be the worst. Denims, I see your large camera and it makes me happy. And it doesn't bother me. And it brings me joy. And I've definitely met content creators where I'm like, dude, content is not for you. It's not for you. And that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Like, I've met people who are like, I just don't get it. Why are they so mean to me? And it's like, because they're mean to everyone. That's why they're mean to you. I'm sorry. Like, it would be more reasonable for Ethan Klein to be like, they just hate me because everyone on the internet is bitter and they hate everyone. That would be at least a little bit more realistic. That would be somewhat more realistic. But instead he's like, they hate me because of anti-Semitism. It's like, what? If you're going to avoid responsibility for the things that you say, because I will tell you for a fact, I get why people don't like me because I have a loud mouth. All right. I am a loud mouth. And I like to talk my shit. That's why people don't like me. And that's okay. Because I don't really care about some people not liking me. That's okay with me. If you like me because I talk my shit, great. And if you don't like me because I talk my shit, that's also okay. It's actually just because of the camera. So it would be weird to talk a bunch of shit and then get mad that people are upset that I talk a bunch of shit. With Ethan Klein, it's very weird because he can't handle it. So he's just like, no, it's because anti-Semitism. It's like, wow. Anyways, continuing.
Really is that I work as hard as I do, and it's a pathology, it's a compulsion, whatever it is. Man, I just never stop talking. But I work as hard as I can to try and make something. And then I watch other people take my videos, play them in full while they watch them and barely react. So that the truth is, back in the day, if you're watching CNN and you hate CNN, you're watching to see what they say. In fact, Steve Bannon talks about this now, watching MS Now to see what they say. But that viewership is good.
No, that's not why people don't hate watch CNN. People, the example he's thinking of that he's too stupid to fucking recall is Howard Stern.
For them, they can monetize it. The problem today, and I'm not saying I'm calling for lawsuits or anything like this. This is just a genuine problem that we face in this space that is going to get worse. I get on my content, I think we do like 50, like right now it's the off season, it's spring, and we're a political show. So we're very heavily electoral based. And so I think we're doing like 50 to 60 million views across the board on all platforms per month, right? So it's like Timcast IRL on YouTube is like 13 million, but then on Rumble, I think we actually do a lot more on Rumble. Actually, we do like twice that.
I didn't mean, not to go back to the topic for a second. Mother Vixen says, you and my husband are problems. I open Excel and I start crying. There don't even have to be numbers on it yet. So Excel is my happy place. All my favorite numbers are on there.
Actually, I think our numbers are wrong. So if Rumble is, we're doing like 275 to 300K on Rumble. And like a lot of our viewers are political and they moved over when they moved over and we moved over. Rumble's great. We love Rumble. So I think we're getting like 25 to 30 million on Rumble in terms of viewership. Then we're getting like 13 to 15 on YouTube. So it's actually then we're probably doing like 60 to 70 million across the board, across all platforms. Here's the crazy reality of it. That viewership we can monetize. Now, I'm rich. I'm not complaining, right? We make money. We make very, very good money. In fact, we probably are just like for our weight in podcasting, we make substantially more money than other podcasts that are much, much bigger than ours. Because, you know, running a business is not just about being able to talk on camera. Like, we've made good financial decisions. We've launched IP. Other people are certainly better than we are, but we've done pretty well. Now, here's the crazy thing. If you went back 30 years, the viewership on a show like this, which we control about 70 million views, which means when I upload a video, it gets views. We track those views. We sell ads against it. We control about 70 million per month. with market competition that doesn't really go that far anymore. It's hard to sell against, especially on political content, until the elections begin. So we love primary
I know of some other funding that you love.
season. We love presidential elections. Here's the thing.
Why is he talking about this? How did he tangent to talking about himself again? You know, so I didn't want to pre-watch the content because I wanted my raw reaction on stream. And I got to tell you guys, one of the comments that I saw was like, why is 90% of this video about, like, sorry, listen to this. Let me just read these comments. Maybe it'll pull up. Maybe it won't. Wow, this might be the worst summary of this case I've ever seen. LOL. Tim clearly hasn't followed the case. And then there was one other one. I don't even know if it's still here. It's not here anymore. It was there yesterday. Look at this. They barely reacted. Doubling the content is barely reacting. Okay, sorry. There was one comment that was pretty funny that was like, oh, it's an entire video just about you. Okay, interesting. Oh, man. Maybe he deleted it. Maybe he deleted it. Oh, that's why. Oh. Man, dude, I am so grateful, chat, that I am not beholden to my audience. Because he wants to be in favor of this lawsuit for fair use. Because he knows he reacts to content. And it would hurt him to have lawsuits and precedents that make fair use weaker. But his audience is so pro Ethan Klein, so he has to be like, this is really scary because then what if you could just react to anything? You wouldn't steal a car, would you? It would drop a nuclear bomb. You don't give a shit what we say. Yeah, you hate us. No, that's not what I mean. I mean, like, I try to share all of my opinions. Even if you guys hate all of my opinions. And then I figure we can come to some middle ground, you know? We can either agree to disagree on certain things or, you know, maybe you guys educate me, maybe I educate you guys. Oh, that's amazing. Man. All right. So I was wondering why he was taking such like a weird, like, fence. Well, he is the chief fence sitter, but I was wondering why he was taking such a weird fence sitter stance on this. And I understand now. He's taking a fence sitter stance on this because his audience is super pro Ethan Klein, but obviously he's against frivolous lawsuits. And he's against lawsuits about like React content because he benefits from React content. Oh my God. He's filibustering his own video. The problem with fence sitting is that at a certain point, first of all, centrism is just not as popular anymore as it used to be. So his stance was a lot more popular pre-Trump, and now everyone has moved further extreme. So fence sitting is just not effective anymore unless you get like shoving a fence up your asshole. And so everyone is mad because they're like, you should be going in on her harder. Harder, damn it. Oh, God. Question mark, question mark? No. It's good. Let's go. I literally stopped listening to the video because he's just droning on. I wish Denims hate us less. And removed him from her screen. Sorry, you're right. No, when you're right. I'm sorry. I apologize. I won't torture you guys anymore. I apologize.